Purpose is often misunderstood as motivation, as an ambition to fulfill, as even a reason to push harder and faster. But reality is, true purpose does not push the human system. It grounds it, it stabilizes it, it brings it to its highest state of regulation. See, motivation mobilizes energy through effort. Purpose organizes energy through orientation and a direction of true north. This fundamental distinction truly matters because effort, no matter how strong you are, can be sustained only rather briefly. Orientation can be sustained for your whole lifetime. The nervous system does not regulate around goals. It regulates around what feels worth sustaining. When life feels directionless, regulation becomes fragile. When life feels oriented, regulation becomes robust and resilience. Purpose is not an emotion. It is not optimism. It's not living like Pollyanna. It is not even a belief. Fundamentally, it is a regulatory signal for our body. So let me begin by saying again, purpose is not motivation. Motivation is oriented to push the system forward. Purpose works differently. It stabilizes regulation from within us, from a sense of alignment and coherence. Effort relies on sympathetic drive to produce bursts of energy. Purpose restores balance and regulation. This is why the more effort we put in, the faster we end up in burnout. And purpose, once realized, however long we pursue it, it sources itself from innate resilience. When purpose is present, something measurable within us begins to change. And it's not just touchy-feely things. Your autonomic balance improves. The vagal tone of the body increases. The stress resolves and eliminates more efficiently, which can even be measured by stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol. Not because stress disappears from the system, but because the system knows what it is organizing itself for. Effort becomes sustainable, recovery becomes faster, and energy stops leaking in rumination, overthinking, self-distortion, self-sabotage. This is why purpose improves outcome even in rehabilitation of life. Why it predicts resilience in chronic illness. People who have a sense of purpose recover from most complex conditions. This is also why recovery accelerates when life feels coherent and purposeful. Fundamentally, in a state of being purposeful, the system is no longer fighting itself. Purpose does not eliminate pressure, it contextualizes it. What is it for? How is it going to make my life better? Pressure without meaning is a threat. Let me say that again. Pressure without a meaning for why there is pressure is considered a threat. Pressure with a meaning that it helps you move towards your life's purpose becomes a challenge. That's the only difference between a challenge and a threat, is meaning. The same demand of resources, of effort, produces a different psychological response. See, fundamentally, the nervous system does not seek comfort. It does seek coherence, coherence with who we are. So when life feels worth sustaining, the regulation stabilizes naturally. Not because conditions are easy, but because direction is clear, where you're going is clear, what your ultimate destiny is very clear. And that is really where motivation fails. Motivation asks questions like, let's say, how do I push through this obstacle? Purpose asks, what is worth organizing and regulating my life around? One relies on force, the other relies on alignment. Force exhausts the system. Alignment conserves and nurtures it. This is why people with purpose often carry more responsibility and yet age more slowly, why they recover faster under pressure, why they remain inwardly stable even when life seems very, very demanding. Not because they are more stronger, because they are more oriented towards purpose. Purpose is not a psychological decoration that you put on a frame in your office. It is a ontological reorganization. Because when life is oriented clearly with a sense of meaning and purpose, it regulates itself, the whole being, differently. Not into excitement, not into intensity, but into a grounded stability and resilience. Purpose does not give you more energy. Rather, it stops wasting the energy you already have. And it's when this regulation stabilizes that health, resilience, and longevity begin to follow. So, in my humble opinion, purpose is the least, or let me put it this way, a sense of meaning and purpose and engagement is the least appreciated predicting variable of healthy longevity. And that is really the thought I want to leave you with today.